Ben!
Oh, whoa, Jesus Christ.
Wake up, it's not Christmas.
You don't have to shout, Dan. You have to use your indoor voice, please.
But I have to, because we're not alone today, and I needed our guests to hear us.
You're not alone today. You're never alone, Dan. You're never alone.
No, they keep watching me. That van hasn't moved out from my house for like a month. They keep saying they're pizza delivery people, but I don't believe them.
They one of those pizza companies that has a big aerial at the top of their delivery vans. Because I think they've got a branch down here as well.
They abducted Mrs. Goggins the other week from across the road. She was 84, but they carried her. It was very impressive.
Just has a big sign on the front, delivery people, normal.
Yes. Go about your business. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Comedy Dining Experience. Today we have some special guests on the show in the form of Applemask and Chriddof. Guys, how are you doing?
We're fine, I think. I hope so.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. Yeah, I was caught short before we came online. Actually, we don't want to know about that. Obviously, too much information, all that. But
hey, in fairness, it happens to the best of us. I mean, I'm going right now. This is in my bathroom, so.
Yeah, I'm impressed by the lack of echo actually in your bathroom. That's very
yes,
good.
We've had it soundproofed.
Yeah, with all the special tiles, you know.
My wife, she cannot sleep. So obviously, to anybody who is not aware, if you gents would like to tell us who you guys are, because obviously you're quite well versed with the world of public information films.
Yeah, Applemask, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm some bloke. That's about it, really. No, I make a show about the history of advertising called The Hard Sell. I'm assuming we're going to be putting up links and talking about things.
Oh yes, there'll be a full set of links in the description as well to any and everything that you gents have ever done ever. We'll make sure to get that covered.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main thing I do. But I also upload old bits of continuity and commercial breaks to YouTube with extensive descriptions. People seem to like that. And I do plenty of other video documentaries about history and television and bums and that sort of thing.
You did a thing on Margaret Thatcher as well, which I really liked.
Yes, I did do a documentary on Margaret Thatcher. This coming Tuesday is Margaret Thatcher night on BBC 4, and they didn't ring me up or anything.
Bastard.
What a shameful title, Margaret Thatcher night.
I was going to say your documentaries on regional ITV and also your ones on digital television have always kept me sort of keeping my eye up to the sky looking for squirrels ever since I found out about them. So yeah, definitely very very informative documentaries that have kept me very interested. I particularly liked your one on Ulster television. That was a very as somebody who wasn't particularly that well versed in the Troubles and things like that, to sort of see how it affected television, particularly the ITV sort of side of things, was very much eye opening. So,
thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And Chriddof, how about yourself?
There's a kind of famous line I came up with ages ago, which I said that I'm mainly famous on the internet for making CG models go blah, and you just sort of, it's weird. I sort of stumbled into messing around with this program called Daz Studio, which is in many ways absolutely atrocious and is mainly used by perverts, and the people make like either really bad fantasy art with it, with like fairies and things, or pornography. And I was trying to make proper animation with it, but like it was just the first version of it I used, you couldn't even see where the keyframes were added, so you had to like manually sort of jump between keyframes to remember where they were. Blimey. and you'd go wind back the playhead a bit, and it would like screw up some aspect of the animation for absolutely inexplicable reasons. So I just got so fed up. I just started making them just collapse on in themselves and like flying off into the air out of sheer frustration, and that got quite popular.
For a second, I thought you were going to say you were trying to bridge the gap between pornography and fairies. Which, some of your stuff is a very, very visually entertaining. There's a particular one that always stays in my mind. I think it uses the theme from Farmhouse Kitchen.
Yes.
Yes, that one, and also the one about the bear is always the two of the ones that also always stick in my head.
Oh yeah. Sorry, the bear one was made in the same program that Applemask now uses, Movie Storm, which is this sort of obscure thing that is technically no longer available commercially, I don't think.
It was always free, I think, but they don't really maintain it anymore, the people behind it. They're working on this new VR version.
Yeah, it's aimed now at game dev studios, which is no use to us, obviously. So yeah, but the other one, of course, the Farmhouse Kitchen, which of course, in a weird way, I'm sort of proud of that. It's just a way I managed to sort of hide the cat's body before. Well, I won't spoil it if anybody hasn't seen it, but yes, it's a thing of beauty, I think.
Oh, yes, definitely. And of course, as well, you've recently moved more into sort of experimental music compositions, and you've been doing the Chriddof Cinema Club as well, haven't you? Which is
I did one, and that went well. I started off with a whole ad reel, which I compiled myself from various bits of sources, play that out. And then I synced everyone up to watch it on Netflix, and then I got a terrible panic attack, so that was good, and I had to leave early. So yeah, but people still enjoyed it, even though I spent the rest of the night sort of shivering. But and also the experimental music. I've been like getting cheap little bits of old synthesizers, like these remakes of Korg monotrons with delays in them. They're like toy synthesizers, really, but they're very useful. And sorry, this is kind of boring, really, but
it's interesting to see how it works, because I mean, like I say, there's been some times that I've listened to a couple of your sort of publishings, and I've thought, is that an old piece of music that you've found, or is it something you composed yourself? And you've turned around and told me, no, it's self-composed. And I was like, oh wow, it's really impressive.
Yeah. You can do really good things with VST soft synths now. There's a really good one which came free with a copy of a magazine called Computer Music, Phonec, and it specifically emulates the sound of a synthesizer as you would hear it on an old VHS like introductory logo or something. They actually specifically were aiming to recreate sounds like that, and I use that a lot.
Very nice, very nice. And of course, as well, another thing I should probably mention is if anybody listening has watched any of my film reviews on the channel, the theme tune that plays just before the review starts is composed by the person you are listening to right now. Which it's a lovely job.
Yes, thank you.
No trouble. And Ben, what have you done?
Well, I just kind of come on here and make noises. That's my profession these days. It's on my CV.
Well, you have got that illegal thing, but we don't talk about that.
Well, yes, we'll talk about that off microphone.
So yes, we will get the show rolling then. Today we are doing Charley Says Vol. 1. A couple of years ago we did Vol. 2 first. For some reason we were very drunk at the time.
You were very drunk.
Well, yeah, Ben's immune to whiskey apparently. So yes, we're queued up currently, and we're going to be able to actually show you some of the video on this, as opposed to having you sync your own copy. So if
I know you all have your own copies out there.
Oh, of course, of course. We don't have riffraff here. So we're on the Charley Says screen, and we are going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Charley Says.
That's a very disturbing introduction.
Yeah, I never liked it either.
When we were all waiting patiently at the traffic lights, There's nothing more aggravating than the chap who cuts in. This show of bad manners saves no time.
They should bring this look back. Not as like a sort of faux retro thing, just in general, just like how it used to be.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's got kind of a squiggly softness to it that, it's very appealing.
I like that term, a squiggly softness.
It's the title of my autobiography, Ben.
Be a better driver.
That's good advice. Just be better at driving.
I find like the 50s public information films don't have that horrible 70s-ness. Well, obviously it wouldn't be because of the 50s, but you know what I mean.
Never thought that 50s-ness instead.
Yeah. That was a bit unpleasant though.
Don't like that one.
And these would have been shown in cinemas, so that would have been quite disconcerting.
You get a nice
I mean, having these projected on like a 40, 50-foot screen would be quite intense, I imagine.
But did you,
The focus-
when I was...
It's enough to give
Sorry, go
you
on.
blood.
The focus in these days is on manners rather than safety, which is very British of them.
And when it comes to puffing on a busy
We've given up on that now.
Yeah, it's impolite to run people over. It's bad form to.
and the devil take the high ground.
If somebody stood in the middle of the road, wait for them. There's a good chap.
Yeah.
And yes,
Nowadays, it's literally, it's warning people that if you run people over, to
Grand
please
Theft
call the
Auto.
police. Yeah, basically.
I just saw that stream of animated schoolboys and could just imagine like zooming straight through there.
a little more give and take.
Well, considering nowadays we have to be told by the government to wash our hands, I think that there's still a need for people to be just informed of the basics of human decency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that always needs to be remembered about public information films is that they wouldn't have made them if they didn't need to, if they didn't feel like they needed to. Even the stupidest ones are inspired by something. Some people really were that stupid.
Yeah.
Some people really did watch a man die
Yeah.
in the water.
They would. That's the sad reality. I mean, I've noticed ever since they've really stopped showing, particularly the more gruesome PIFs during the day, that there has been a very certain rise in people, falling into threshers and, getting trapped in grain machines and stuff.
They brought these two back a few years ago, didn't they? Joe and Petunia.
Yeah, they're quite iconic.
they reanimated it. And I think they had one of them holding a mobile phone, and the Coast Guard at the end was at a laptop or something.
Yeah.
It was synced up to the original sound.
Because it's the future now.
Yeah.
Now he's waving to us.
Do you think if he didn't have the superimposed phone, people wouldn't have got it?
They would
they
have got
go-
confused and died.
Well, it's just that people wouldn't necessarily have recognised
Oh, now he's shouting.
this as anything they were supposed to ever.
Maybe if they gave them anime eyes, but kept everything the same, you wouldn't have to superimpose like
Yeah.
laptops and things.
Yeah, the manga verse Joe and Petunia.
Every so often a sentence just ends with kun or nya.
Yeah.
He's very lucid for a man on the verge of death.
That's hypothermia for you, Ben.
That was his fever dream.
Yes.
These all work if you imagine them in the dying eyes of someone in their last moments. Just sort of seeing everything as a cartoon.
This was actually an animatic for a deleted scene from The Wicker Man, where they take the old man and throw him into a frozen lake to appease the gods.
I was thinking along those lines, actually. It's like, it just popped into my
Then
mind
they
before you
decided
said
to
that.
set it at the start of spring instead, and they couldn't really fit a frozen pond in.
I don't like the way they're animating him blinking, like his eyes are flashing white.
Yeah, it's very unsettling.
I can't unsee that now you've pointed that out. That's horrifying. Just imagine a low synth drone over that last one.
Yes.
Slowly gets louder.
I can supply a low synth drone if you want, you know.
We'll have you on call for that.
Yes.
There's a guy with a flat cap and a toothbrush moustache, because that was the image of the working class in those days. Like a sort of turn of the century chimney sweep. Didn't really die out as an image until the 80s.
When the amber is flashing and and the crossing is clear, we can
It's the
go.
government telling them that they're allowed to drive cars. That's a right they have.
Yeah.
What's the sequence of lights after the green for go?
Oh, for the sake of clarity, as well as is the case normally with these commentaries, I am enjoying a nice bottle of water and I'm eating a gingerbread man bought by the missus. So
Thank you.
But we can go.
there always
Well-
comes a point midway through these commentaries where I eat something, so it always announce it.
Right. Well, if we're doing that, I've got a bottle of Fentiman's Curiosity Cola. So
Very nice.
Now, this
I've just got a glass of water.
controlled crossing.
I'll find out.
Delicious water.
To cross the
Morrison's lemonade, so it might as well be water.
and wait.
So this literally told me why the Pelican Crossing was called the Pelican Crossing. I genuinely didn't know until I saw this bloody thing on the DVD for the first time.
There we are.
I always wondered that because it doesn't look like a pelican.
I'll get it, Grandad.
No, stop. The green man is
I just assumed it was one of life's great mysteries.
That means the lights are above.
I often say that to them whenever we start recording these commentaries. No, stop. The green man is flashing.
Remember, you have to wait.
Because some of these are directed by David Lynch, so.
Changes to
Does it
green.
not tell them to do the little sort of cheaty thing at the bottom that lets you turn it on straight away?
Don't forget.
Hang on, this is new information. And what, there's a secret button?
Too late to step
Yeah, it's for blind people.
there.
You've seen
What?
that?
No, I've never seen that.
There's a little tiny thing underneath. You twist it, and the thing turns green straight away.
You might have to cut this bit out.
not
This
sup-
is classified information.
This is top secret stuff, man. This
Ben, I
is-
hope you realise this is punishable by a £10 fine.
Think safe. Tidy up at night.
Blank man in pink house.
It's got a bit of a bod vibe to it. hasn't it?
Yes, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, grey adult bod.
He's alright when he's got his nice smiley face, but that bit where he was looking tired, it was quite unsettling.
Yeah.
If you were making a sort of like a sort of what they call creepypasta sort of thing about sort of alternate or sort of lost TV show, this is the kind of animation you do, isn't it? That sort of strange, blurry.
Slightly tinted.
It's trying to be comforting, even though it's depicting a house burning down.
Yeah.
But there's just something not right about it. But I don't know if that's just because we're looking at it from the benefit of, you know.
And you'd end it on that triangle symbol.
Nobody remembers what that symbol is.
Work for the first time. The excitement she feels with her own
Oh
money
my.
to spend. And crowds.
Why was she a witch at one point?
Whoa,
She won't care what job she does.
this one's cancelled.
It's a noble profession, Chriddof. The art of witchcraft has been tarnished over years, but it's coming back.
She'll be let down, going back to unskilled work. But if she gets help to prepare for a satisfying job now, then later on she'll have a career to go on with.
Notice how it's completely unthinkable that the PIF should be addressing the girl herself. They have to address her parents.
They assumed she couldn't read.
You are now 15 years old.
No, I'm not.
You're beginning to be aware of many things. In particular, the prospects of life before you.
This one's also cancelled.
Don't be soft. Stand up for yourself. Think of
They
what
should
you
just air
really
these
want
without
to do
warning or
and go
comment.
after it.
Just sort of like at random times of the day.
Yeah.
What's up?
If anyone rings in or complains, just ignore them.
Do you remember you had a talk?
Maybe they could replace the soundtrack with a low synth throughout.
And don't ignore them when they ring in to complain. Tell them they're making it up. There was no such thing.
What are you talking about?
Have it go through to a specific line, and whenever anybody picks up, it's always followed by "What do you want?" Not like "Hello, how can I help?"
Oh,
What do
this
you
is
want?
cancelled now.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It was the 70s. It was allowed.
Yeah.
Basically legal.
A lot of things were allowed in the 70s.
Not bathing, apparently.
Is that a general rule, or go either way?
I remember Francis Rossi of Status Quo saying in a interview, said, "Oh no, we didn't do much oral sex in those days. Nobody bathed." Like generally, he said that.
It's because he watched this. He got the wrong idea.
Maybe you saw this on one of those sort of I Love the 1970s style clip shows, and it was like, oh god, yeah, I remember that.
There he is, there in the water.
I mean, I know that they're saying that the important thing is, to follow the beach codes, but they're not. They are littering quite badly.
Why does her tongue make that noise?
I thought they'd follow the Beach Boys then. That would have been better.
You don't want to trust people who have hats like that.
What are they hiding?
and under gleaming ceilings as well. So I see they've invoked the fire gods now.
They clean it every weekend.
While they remain motionless as well. Yeah, something's not right.
I'm really
there.
angry about it too.
Oh, Jesus.
He did wear that hat.
At least they're completely fireproof.
Yeah.
Just don't be animated in the 60s and 70s, you're fucked.
So I'm struggling to figure this out. Is it a PIF for not feeding alligators barehanded, or is it one
It's
for not
dip,
driving a boat?
Dip, don't dazzle. I remember this.
I'm not getting the dip, don't dazzle, but I'm definitely not feeding an alligator again.
Oh, actually, I think that might have been a separate one. I just remember John Pertwee saying "dip, don't dazzle," but the same kind of fuzzy thing.
Oh yeah, that's the one where he has the eyes that are headlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to be related, done by the same thing.
I like to assume these are just all anti-drug ones, sort of coded. Partnership for a drug-free Watford.
What are you doing?
He had 3 ciders before this PIF began. He's chasing the rainbow here.
He's throwing rocks at the cameramen.
I live in the country. I see people like this all the time.
Animated red men.
Maybe you're right. That can't be anything we've done.
No, but I won't stay where I'm not wanted. Come on, Joe.
When folk come out to the country, why oh why won't they follow the country code?
I like that it just stops there on that shot. Like a mournful ending.
That's what I like about these. There's sort of hardly any end lines or slogans. They just kind of end. Message and then stop.
They expect you to pay attention because there's no videos. You can't fast forward. You're stuck. You're a captive audience.
You can't fast forward your way out of a fridge.
Yeah, you
You
can't.
need more films in general that just end. Like the upcoming Zack Snyder recut of Justice League, or whatever the bloody hell it is. It just sort of abruptly ends, and everybody just sort of stands around pretending that the film was frozen. Then it just suddenly cuts dead to a black screen.
If it could end before the film starts as well, that'd be even better in that example.
You just hear one very sharp chord strike, and then that's it.
And the words Hans Zimmer, and then that's it.
Yes.
Apocalypse Now does that, just kind of stops.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't understand.
That's Mr. What's name from Grange Hill. Before he was a janitor, he was doing this.
This is me, thinking as usual about Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Just thinking about boys in clothes, you know.
He's such a hunk.
Even his football shorts have flares. Bit of a waste of a wish, really. You could just walk to the seaside and still have a...
She has very low ambitions, this girl.
Yeah.
That's not my scene, man. Get him binned. Get Dave binned. He's no good.
This character reminds me of a peanut. I don't know why. His hair reminds me of Peanut. I don't know why.
I thought you meant Peanuts, the Charlie Brown.
No, I mean the literal peanut. I don't know why. That combination of those eyes, those teeth, and that hair just made me think peanut instantly.
Well, she does like nuts after all. I apologise immediately for saying that.
Ben, you've just been cancelled. Great.
This man's spine is about to be cancelled.
I think about this one a lot because I always get the lifting jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I always bend my knees as a result of watching that man die and have clockwork bits come out of him.
It worked. It was effective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we used to work on film shoots, they always used to tell us to lift with our knees, and we'd be thankful for it. And so far, I've got no regrets. So.
Yeah.
To throw a rag may seem fun.
God, the animation is really good in this one. It's very fluid.
Yeah.
The only thing that concerns me is, like I say, how he keeps randomly transforming into the clown in like a one-frame transition. It's not like he grows into it; it's just like boom, clown.
Stephen King saw that.
And then he took loads of cocaine, so it came out a bit odd in the end.
Well, originally it started as a PIF, so.
The weird thing about that book, I've never read the book, but apparently there's a bit in it where it's revealed that the entire Earth and Pennywise were vomited up by a giant space tortoise or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
not
I
even
think
like
that's-
paraphrasing. That's exactly how it is. But
Yeah. It's,
I think that's a big part of Stephen King's mythology.
the Stephen King cinematic universe.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
The SKU.
It's something he came up with while on extraordinary amounts of cocaine, and now he's stuck with it.
Blimey.
Sums up his whole career, that. Came up with it on cocaine, now he's just stuck with it. Speaking of cocaine, Charlie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This DVD's namesake.
One day when my dad went fishing, he took Charlie and me along.
Charlie jumped into the water and we never found him again.
Like many sort of dreadful people who grew up in the 90s, my first exposure to this was through the Prodigy song.
I'm just old enough to have seen the Piffs first,
Into the water.
Oh God,
Yeah.
and now this
this is
is
the one I don't like. It's very, very upsetting when he falls in the water.
Yeah.
But luckily, he got caught in the fishing line and was strangled instead.
It looks so pitiful here.
Yes.
I feel so sorry for him.
Kenny Everett does a very, very good performance, I will say.
Yeah.
Stay very close.
Originally, Kenny Everett tried to do the boy's voice as well, but it came out to Kenny Everett-y. So.
So they hired an actual boy.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Turn up too.
I feel like these piffs should end with just Bright Eyes by Art Garfunkel.
It has the same colour scheme and everything.
Slow fade to grayscale credits.
Same animator eventually made Crystal Tits and Alistair, using much the same methods.
It does have a similar style, but I never put the two together.
Yeah.
I do remember some of these from the early 80s when I was very little.
Yeah. When I was a kid, it was mostly the one about going with strangers was on an awful lot. I don't really remember seeing any of the others.
Because there are so many hot
Would you like to see some puppies?
Would you like to see some puppies? Would you like to see some puppies?
The Charlie cat noise is like ASMR to me. I could listen to it all day for some reason.
Just put some tranquil, sort of border vaporwave music underneath it and just have for 10 hours. Oh, bloody hell.
Jesus.
That cat would not have lived a week.
Charlie got back from the vet for the 6th time this week, and a man from the RSPCA was waiting at the door. He told me that I couldn't keep Charlie anymore. Oh, these are unsettling. This
Oh,
gives me
God.
real David Lynch vibes.
Yeah.
Does this volume have the one that you don't like with the prams?
I think it might, yeah, prams and pushchairs.
Or is that the other one?
The one with the scream. I think it's this one. So if at any point I recoil in horror and you just hear a thud, that's me falling off my chair.
The one that starts
yeah,
off with the sort of
yeah.
Edward Munch.
Yeah, the worst thing about that is
God,
that it
yeah.
starts off like that, so there's literally no escape.
And it's not balanced to the rest of the piffs either, so it's louder than all the others. So when we
They
normally
mixed
watch,
it above everything else.
yeah.
for the
So when we
DVD.
normally do watch these, which is normally at 3 o'clock in the morning, whilst on beer 3 or 4, it literally very nearly kills me every time. So yeah. But yeah, these are lovely once you get used to them, but they're very unsettling initially. Once it's like a bath. Once you sink in, you're all right with them. But
Don't bathe, Dan. You know that.
initially. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
What's happened to their balls?
I think one of these is duplicated, but it has a Welsh voiceover instead, if I remember correctly. Or maybe that's on the second one.
In Welsh language or just a Welsh accent?
No, it's
No, actually speaking backwards.
Brilliant.
it's Welsh language. It's a woman doing it. Yeah.
There's a subliminal message hidden with it.
Oh God, why are they looking at me like that?
They just stare. I like this one
Oh,
because they die.
oh yeah, they do die. I think they're going.
Joe and Petunia Coda, the death of Joe and Petunia.
Don't mince your words, Ben. Tell us how you really feel.
They're a bit
She's
smooth.
played by Bridget Forsyth in this one instead of Wendy Craig.
Oh.
They're a bit smooth.
Oh, that's nice.
I knew they shouldn't have bathed that morning.
After everything they get away with, reality intercedes in the end.
Yeah.
They crash into live action.
Go straight on. The offside lane's favourite.
Is it?
Well, today the other lane cleared first.
Oh, yes.
Well, in a case like that, is it all right to switch lanes?
Not if something's coming up in the other lane, it isn't.
A lot of the voice work in this, it's always like, I know that voice from somewhere, from some sitcom or something else. It always bugs me trying to sort of
When approaching lights, pick your lane
pick
early
everything up,
and
you know.
stick to it.
I love that font.
Oh yeah.
I've got that font somewhere installed on my machine. I forget what it's called now.
Called Terror. Oh
Called
my.
3-Day Week.
This one really illustrates the utility of animation, because if this was done in live action, it would be horrific.
Oh God.
Oh God.
I mean, it's
Could not do
unsettling
this
enough like
except
this.
the way they've done it.
They could do it live action, it'd be like Baby Geniuses.
Slightly easier to watch.
But a baby left alone in one could burn or scald himself. So watch your baby all the time, or he'll never grow up to be a world champion.
Suffocate him instead with that thing. Madagascar completely ripped this off, of course.
It's another one that was still being shown at my childhood in the late 80s.
Oh, wow.
Film flickers and all.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeremy. His mum should have taught him to clean his teeth every day.
Now he's going to die, as he won't be able to hunt his prey anymore.
Now he can look disturbing, like me.
Have a crocodile style. Clean your teeth every day. Claude goes to the seaside. A cautionary tale for caravanners.
I don't know why they gave this one a title sequence.
There, I think I've got everything in. Hey, I'm looking forward to our holiday, aren't you, dear?
Is it the brother of Thingy?
Petunia.
Yeah.
Don't stop pushing, Claude.
It's the exact same voice.
Yeah, it's just Peter Hawkins blatantly using the same voice.
Yeah.
The whole lot shifted up front. You'll never manage now.
Hey, hold your head up, Claude. You're making it very hard to steer.
Why?
He probably did all these in an afternoon.
All right, all right. Look, I'm putting the brakes on.
You're a bit embarrassed if they mixed it up and like started talking about nuclear war in the middle of keeping your teeth clean.
I think most people would have accepted that, especially at the time.
That one was still being shown after Arthur Lowe had died.
Yeah.
Good. He's using the Green Cross code.
Stop. Look.
Ah, it's good, but it's no splink.
Walk straight across.
David Prowse didn't do the animated ones as well, did he? Just do the live action ones.
That was great.
He might have done motion capture for this, but that's obviously not his voice.
No.
Always stop written SN.
I never forget when I met Dave Prowse. I met him a few years ago at a convention, and he creaked at me. That's the only word I can use to describe it. I went up and I said, I really loved you as the Green Cross Code Man. I thought you did a really good job, and he literally just leaned in and went, and that was it. That was all I got off him.
What you should have done is talk about Clockwork Orange, because I mentioned that, and he was quite chatty with me.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one.
This is a good one, yeah.
Something you can click your fingers to.
Oh, yeah. I'm currently bebopping.
As ever.
Oh, yeah. That never changes.
We can keep out next.
No, that... He's getting in one way or another. Doesn't tell you keep the windows shut.
When's the 12-inch mix of that coming out? Because that was groovy.
I was just about to say the Prodigy are working on a mix of it as we speak, but that's not going to happen, is it?
Down which it is illegal to drive a motor vehicle, or you may be liable to a fine.
Shittest Bond film ever.
Oh, now another amazing thing.
I quite like the animation style here. It's very nice.
Derek Nemo playing a character without a dog collar for a change.
It's kind of it's borrowing a lot from that 50s and 60s style animation, but it's a lot more fluid.
Yeah.
Now, when I go out at night, I'm no trouble to anyone.
I like how it's gently surrealist as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but it's not yelling about it.
Oh, here's another one of those be careful about gas or you will die.
England's Rose, Roy Kinnear.
And anyway, in a mobile heater, the most you can hope for is a short trip up the tube to the heady excitement of being a controlled flame.
That's quite an upsetting illustration.
We do get out sometimes.
Yeah.
In fact,
I can imagine if this was a late night one, it would have certainly created a sense of unease.
Yeah.
It's kind of one things that I think they were referring in that Not the 9 o'clock news sketch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take care with the gas in your heater.
It is very dangerous to cross
That was the precursor to George and Betty there.
Grand Theft Auto.
What if you Prams and Pushchairs is the next one?
Oh,
Oh, God.
There it is.
yeah.
I love the...
It's just pure horror, this one, from beginning to end.
Yeah. Oh, just...
Another one that would be impossible to do in live action, baby-wise.
I don't see a problem with it, though.
Edward Munch himself worked on it.
There's Dr. Eggman from the Sonic franchise.
Yeah.
I love how calm he sounded while his car was careening wildly out of control. I said they really should take care of bloody things.
Ooh.
Well, you know, if they could do that, then...
They have bigger things to worry about.
I say, dear boy, we appear to be abstract.
He's too concerned about the Chaos Emeralds and all that. Now he's going up to heaven to find the Chaos Emerald.
See, it's positive.
He's going up to his cloud, going up to the cloud zone.
That one's positive. It implies there's an afterlife. Therefore, you should be careful. You should be crazy on the roads. By that logic.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Wouldn't really count as suicide either.
Exactly.
I didn't realise that this PIF was going to get so deep. Is there a Heaven's Heaven?
These were screened on opposite day.
If you really have to drive in snow, make sure you can see and others can see you.
Oh, this one's nice and moody. I really like the colours used in this one. It's very upsetting, and it gets the message across very clearly.
It's
but
it's almost Raymond Briggs. But...
Yeah.
It's a rare example of an animated one as well that doesn't go for like whimsy or just like over the topness. It's just it's played very, very seriously for an animated filler of this era.
And I like the transition to the text, where it kind of zooms in like that. You don't really see stuff like that with this era.
I've seen at least 3 different soundtracks to this one.
I was sure there was a version where the ambulance light flashes across the screen and then the text appears as well, but I don't know whether I might be misremembering that.
I shall show you how there is a risk involved.
Alan Bennett's rare foray into public information.
This is an anti-bulimia one. He's clearly dying of lack of food there.
This character just deserves to die. I don't like him.
No, I don't like him. I will have no sympathy for him if he's rescued by a Chinese fishing boat in a couple of hours' time.
This semi-stick figure motherfucker.
Joe and Petunia's cousin.
He's been on screen for 10 seconds and the entire audience has turned to die!
I think that's why they hired Alan Bennett, to try and mitigate it.
Oh, yeah.
They originally got Peter Hawkins in, but it was even more negatively received.
That last one was just fuck you, epileptics.
Yeah. Epilepsy wasn't invented until 1987.
I've heard like old people just generally talk like that. They said, "Oh, we didn't have all this autism in our day and all this."
It was the good old days before smoking gave you cancer.
Yeah.
Those bastards at the cigarette company really ground us down on that one.
Augustus Winthrop lives in a very ill-defined world, doesn't he? Everything's got solid colours. Very few details.
No wonder he can't
It's a
see
universe
properly.
where the people are very high detail, but everything else is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, synths.
Mmm. Ooh.
Can you do bombs though? That's the important. Those are the best ones.
That jingle's giving me tingles.
Oh, this is groovy.
This is my favourite bit. We're not going to pretend there's necessarily any glamour, let's face it.
Fall on silver tip.
It's so British. That is such a British thing to do. They can't just be cool. They've got to have something in there that just makes people go, oh, you know, a bit of that British comedy.
It's a bit jarring to just suddenly cut to live action after all the animated stuff.
This is meant to evoke like video games, apparently. Before they had actually had computer technology. Yeah, Space Invaders. Yeah.
Made by someone who's never played video games.
Well, no.
No. They initially repurposed this for the social distancing PIFs that didn't come out because the government doesn't care.
Don't be a space invader. Stay out of the safety space.
It's a real shame, really, that public information films aren't as prominent now in this kind of style. Because this current world situation that we are in would have been like ripe opportunity for some really nice animation about social distancing. Or
COVID made the form make a comeback, obviously.
It's because bad things don't happen anymore. Everything's fine. It's all fine.
Go back to bed, Britain.
We
Everything's all right.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The sea can take you by surprise, so never ignore any warning signs.
I wish the real signs had that, were drawn in that cartoon font on the beach, the big bubbly. Oh dear.
Oh god, there's a shot of Sellafield.
Oh, this video's getting taken down.
Yeah.
Might have to mute this one, Dan.
Ah.
Yeah,
It's
you
alright.
are going to have to mute this.
It's alright. It's a bespoke version.
It's the Stars on 45 version.
Yeah.
I am going to have to get a Geiger counter out for this one.
Do you think Mr. Flash ever saw this? They sent him a copy.
Is that how he's addressed on all his posts?
Here's what we did with your art.
These are the parts of the world where malaria is common.
Cheers.
And where a traveller runs the risk of a bite from infected mosquitoes.
Thought this was rabies then. That was the big sort
I
of
did for a second.
paranoia of the time, wasn't it?
You may have lost any immunity after only a few years.
Just let you know there are other deadly diseases.
I was expecting it just to be the map throughout. You know, this is where you can get malaria. This is rabies. This is heat stroke. You know, don't travel.
Does this have the one? Does this DVD have the one with the woman in the airport, and then it suddenly keeps cutting back to the actual person? Oh, speaking of the devil, it cuts to the actual person dying of rabies. You know, the little kid in the hospital.
I think that's on volume 2. Yeah.
I'm glad we're not seeing that today.
Yeah,
Good, because it's horrifying.
That one's quite intense.
Thought I had rabies once.
Go on, tell us.
I've told you, but a dog looked at me funny in France, and I was like 7, and this is when I started reading up on all this stuff, and I genuinely thought I had rabies because it like brushed past me. You know, if I start frothing at the mouth at any point in this commentary, because I've heard it can happen after like 10 years or so, you know, if it happens, just laugh.
We will, in a very cruel and sort of over the top way.
Good.
Now, as any experienced sailor will tell you,
Dead.
there are many hazards awaiting the
Fade to black. End. Next bit. It's like an aborted attempt.
Yes. It's an outtake. All year is bloody out, and then it cuts.
Good sentence. Oh shit!
And now on BBC One.
Of course, it goes without saying you should know how to use them all.
Watch out for sharks with rabies.
After all, you never know what you might
I'm guessing Jaws had just come out when this was.
Yeah, just around there, I'd say.
Before leaving harbour.
Does this collection have that one where the seagull, it holds on the seagull? Oh, wait, I think this is the one. Where the seagull just laughs at them all dead or something.
Yeah. Because they're idiots and seagulls are bastards, so it's actually quite realistic.
Perfectly character matching.
Perfect synthesis.
Yeah.
Fuck seagulls.
Making sure.
That was a political announcement on the Fuck Seagulls party.
They really are total and complete bastards.
Oh yeah, one stole my ice cream once, and I've had a vengeance to them ever since.
All birds who live in or near water are bastards to me for some reason.
What a bastard. He stole the sandwich as well.
Corpse's tea for me.
Now this one's effective because it's just...
You blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And that's it.
They should put a little skip this advert thing in the corner there, put it in front of YouTube videos.
One of the rail ones I've always wanted to see in a decent scan, and I've never been able to find a good quality scan of it, is the finishing line. I got like a Blu-ray copy of Apache and things like that, but I've never been able to find.
It's not on this. It's not on the last COI thing, is it?
No. COI didn't make it. The
oh yeah, it was like a British Rail, whatever it was.
Yeah.
The scene where there's
he's no longer a pedo now.
Roy Hudd all the time.
That was the uniform back then in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's cleaned up, literally.
I remember this one as a kid.
You see this, Ben? This is your front room, this is.
This basically is my front room. I live in squalor. Is this like that rail one before where it's just sort of something nasty and then it ends? It's just big apocalyptic shot. A cutscene from Fred's maybe, you know.
Yeah. Harry Seacombe and Ted Bellingham together at last.
Yeah.
This one's nasty.
This is another nasty one. Yeah. Last shot was filmed in reverse.
Oh, wow.
I was literally just about to say, I always wondered how they actually did the money shot on this one.
Well, it was sugar glass, obviously. They weren't actually going to...
The last place in the world to leave a bottle
Ooh.
is a beach.
Ooh.
Yeah, it just cuts at that.
Oh.
It was the 70s, they might have used real glass.
Lovely animals, aren't they? Isn't it a shame that diseases like foul pest, swine fever and foot and mouth can decimate the nation's livestock? In one foot and mouth epidemic, we slaughtered and destroyed over 200,000 cattle.
Yeah, you're lucky you don't live to see the next one.
Yeah, I was going to say. Blimey.
They could have replayed this one 20 years later, couldn't they?
Scraps getting into their feed.
It'd have been just as effective.
We boil it all, but that's a specialised job. When you get uncooked scraps like
It's making me a bit hungry, this one, actually.
Mm.
Despite talking about foot and mouth and swine flu and horrible things.
I may have to break out the mince pies or the fondant fancies.
And look out for Ted Mark's new single, I thought about where eggs come from and now I don't want to eat eggs anymore.
That was something I made, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is a classic.
Nice synths again.
If your name is Jimmy in a public information film, you might as well just kill yourself.
Yeah.
It's the red shirts of the public information film.
Not long for this world.
If you're Johnny, it's usually your fault.
There's this weird internet troll who sort of just replies endlessly to uploads of this on YouTube and just even discussions of it, where he just goes on and on and on about this kid dying and how nice the girl's teeth are or something.
Jesus.
He's just really weird. Like you just meant so much just talk about it in like a YouTube comments, and he's there, you know.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, Chriddof, you've rumbled me. I'm sorry. She has got really nice teeth. And Jimmy was a saint and he didn't deserve to be electrocuted just for a frisbee.
Well, I can tell you're not the troll, because he always refers to Jimmy as a silly lad. He just keeps sort of saying that, like, oh, poor Jimmy. Oh, he was such a silly lad being electrocuted. Oh, her teeth are wonderful. I wonder where her dentist is. Or something.
I'm picturing this guy like Neil Breen with about 20 laptops around him, who just has comments on every single upload of it. Spectre on the swimming pool there.
Can all of the laptops have stickers on saying this machine kills fascists?
Start swimming.
Because you told me to.
Your life one time if you fell in the river or something.
Were you not scared of the water to start with?
Yes, I was.
I think the Rolf one might be on here, you know, as well.
Oh, goody, more cancers.
I think it is, yes.
Yeah. Well, buckle up, gentlemen. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Why are you scared of swimming? Well, I saw the Charley Says DVD. That's why, Governor.
I wasn't until 5 minutes ago.
The reason why I'm scared of swimming is because I saw Rolf Harris in the pool.
I saw that
He dived beneath the water and then shoved his foot up, and the whole place freeze framed.
It's like Jaws, but he erupts out of the water to a freeze frame.
Yes. Teeth bared, moustache waxed, wearing contacts that are just pale blue to accentuate the fear.
Pure menace. And then we have the rabies synth strike as well. You know.
Yes.
If you actually get rabies, that sound appears in your head. That's how you know you've got it. It's one of the symptoms.
All dogs will be leashed and muzzled. Foxes will be destroyed. Wildlife at risk. No animal may be moved in or out of the infected area.
Now, in light of what they've been doing with people for the last 12 months, do you really think that the Britain would be that hot on preventing a rabies outbreak in the country?
They wouldn't give a shit. We'd all die tomorrow.
So if you
yeah.
Smuggling, tell the police.
This is what they tell us to do.
If rabies breaks out, any animal found loose will be seized, taken away, and if it is not claimed, destroyed.
You have 15 minutes to collect your dog, you have 10 minutes to collect your dog, you have 5 minutes to collect your dog has been crushed into a cube, you have 15 minutes to move your cube.
Kill all animals now. is the vibe I'm getting in these last few minutes.
If you see a burger, shoot it.
probably made of horse anyway.
Bomb McDonald's immediately.
We need a PIF where it just opens with like a hamburger and then it sort of cuts back to a farmer in flat cap shooting it with a shotgun. Like a crash zoom almost. If that burger had got any closer to me, I'd be dead right now.
And then Rolf Harris erupts out of the grass.
Meow.
These are not telephone wires. They're overhead power lines carrying high voltages.
Idiot.
So you don't want to lick them.
People wouldn't have any electricity. So when you go out to enjoy yourself, play safe and make sure there are no overhead lines about.
Oh god.
When you're playing Dance with a Big Metal Stick.
Yeah, the metal pole game or something. I don't know.
The metal dance. To their new god.
They're teasing it, aren't they? Rule of 3.
There's a lot of people with very high things around lately, aren't there?
This entire thing inspired the Scarford Council blog.
Yeah.
If you want to have fun and stay alive, keep away from overhead power lines.
What if I just want to have fun? I don't really care so much about the other bit.
This is the universe where stilts took off.
Or if I just want to throw some poles around, alright. What's wrong with that?
Don't tell me how to live my life, man.
Ambulances are bringing the sick and badly injured to the hospitals.
Sick and barely injured.
The sick and they're kind of injured, but not really. They're alright.
What's your problem? I'm confused.
There's George Harrison there.
What's your problem? I've got a grey hair on my moustache. It's Gail from Corrie there.
What's up with you? I've got tennis nose.
Anyone who goes to an emergency department will be seen.
What's your problem? I'm a parson.
The real emergency comes
There was a time when Brian Glover still had some hair.
you. May have to wait. So contact your own doctor first.
Fun fact, that doctor's hair actually left his head and formed a prog rock band. It's quite successful.
This is such an odd one because you don't think of these two people like even knowing each other.
I don't know, Glenda was on Morecambe and Wise rather a lot.
Ah, okay.
I'm assuming Eric was having his heart trouble. Otherwise she'd be here instead.
Yeah.
Oh no!
In fact, the things she's saying there sort of remind me of how Eric Morecambe would have delivered it, actually. No, I can't,
Yeah, maybe he was unavailable.
Maybe Ken Russell saw this when he put her in Women in Love. This was his inspiration.
So do I sign this now?
She worked with Ken Russell a remarkable number of times, considering the things he had her doing in his films.
Because then he had her writhing around in every other film.
Yeah.
She was going to be in The Devils, but she said, I'm a bit sick and tired of being writhing around for Ken Russell, so no, you're alright.
Another director who I really, really wish would actually get some Blu-ray copies of his films if Warner Brothers weren't such bastards about,
That won't happen.
No, unfortunately.
You'll literally never see The Devils on Blu-ray, ever.
Which is a real pain. Breaks my
Might be
heart
the Criterion
every day.
collection.
That would be lovely. Because it's one of those films that really screams like, pristine quality in order to watch it.
Do you know, I've given blood a few times. I've never seen these two, so this is false advertising, this one.
I think I saw Eric Morecambe once, but he wasn't moving. That was too macabre. I apologise.
Now I'm imagining Rolf Harris erupting from that tray and just sending everything flying.
You need to stop imagining Rolf Harris erupting from things.
Sorry.
It's harder than it sounds.
By extension, Rolf Harris erupting are 3 words I never want to hear.
What if he was just a skeleton?
Oh, that's even worse. Skeleton Rolf Harris coming at you.
With a beard.
Covered in fairy lights.
Merry Christmas! And then it freeze frames.
Ed Stewart's breath stinks. Ed Stewart, an infant.
You see, when she gets older, that's when I'm going to have to start trotting out all those
Completely pure whiskey, that is. It was the 70s.
Puts air on your chest.
So you have to tell her things like not to talk to strangers, that somebody who gives
Look at
in the last frame, that horse in the background just turns and looks at the baby. Looks to somewhere else.
You just see the eyes slowly move across.
I didn't notice that woman in the background initially. I thought she was like some sort of witch from Suspiria or something.
Oh, bloody hell.
Every shot of this one has just someone lurking in the background, menacingly. It's like The Omen.
Try not to think about the fact that he met her when she was 13.
Oh god.
Ah.
That baby's real name is Damien.
I think these PIFs would be much more disturbing if in every single one there was just a single man who stood in the background and didn't say anything but was just stood there.
Like the young
Every
ones.
single- Yeah, like the extra roommate. This PIF, I believe, was called Bloody Kids.
This is a housing estate where all the late 70s, early 80s character actors lived.
That's the Oxo dad, isn't it?
Michael Redfern, yes.
Yeah. He was also in the young ones, and Bottom and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a real shame they didn't release the sequel PIF to this, where the parents formed a militia group and slowly took out the children, Death Wish style.
I've got a write-up about this one in the Scarred for Life book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That I'm quite proud of, so if anybody wants to read that.
Yeah, I've got my copy. I can't recommend that enough. You know, I know this sounds a bit sort of I don't know, crawly, but it's just really, there's just so much stuff. Like I really like the bit about New English Library, those horror novels from the 70s. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why I got the information about Ed Stewart from as well, actually.
If you're suspicious, note the number and tell the police.
Or Doctor Who.
Okay. Yeah. Your mind just instantly goes there, obviously. Now.
Yeah.
She runs inside the box and it just takes off, and then it suddenly becomes an episode of Doctor Who.
Didn't the police try and, like, the Metropolitan Police tried to get the rights off the BBC for that image and they lost?
Everyone is investigated. Often there's nothing to it, but sometimes you save a neighbour an awful lot of trouble.
We've gone back a long way from the last one, haven't we?
Mm.
Just kind of jumping all over time and space. Rather like the
Yeah.
Tell the police.
I'm just picturing if you watch that one on mute and it just get the caption at the end, tell the police. Tell them what?
What we need is a bit more skill up front.
It just superimposes. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, I think Not the 9 O'Clock News did something like this as well at one point. They did like a... But they turned it into a parody where they went through the cost of everything because it was like a cost-cutting episode. So it was like, Griff is wearing a sweater from Angora, which cost £285. The car, of course, had to be completely built from scratch because we can't be seen to advertise brands.
Check the doors, the windows, the boot, and please, take the keys with you.
Whoa.
Wow.
I love that bit.
Yeah. Watch out, there's a synthesizer about.
That's what steals the milk.
This one's not as good without Joe Brown.
Children, always so trusting, happy, unafraid. What a pity to have to remind them.
They must be watching something else. They can't be laughing at the Punch and Judy show.
Especially watching it in a mysterious dark void.
With somebody like wandering behind them as well.
I believe they were watching the end scene of Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
You mean this is
now they're watching the Punch and Judy show in that shot there.
Yes.
Now then, always remind your children.
Oh my god.
Terrifying.
Tell the police.
Just a low
Report
drone.
on your
Or I'll find you.
Naughty, naughty, very naughty. Oh, it's lovely, Delia.
I set the oven at 350 degrees, which is gas mark 4.
I have this weird childhood memory of watching a Delia Smith show when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I was convinced that she was serving monkey brains in a potty. I don't even know why I thought that. I'm just this.
That may have been a dream.
It may be.
Was that a memory that came to you under hypnosis?
I just thinking that I just have this weird, obviously fake memory of like her and like a bearded man with like ginger beard, like it's around a pot. Go, delicious.
Well, this Christmas money's a bit tight, so I've managed to secure 2 sets of monkey brains.
Maybe that bearded man was Rolf Harris. That's where it comes from.
Energy sense is common sense.
Tell the police.
And I'm talking nonsense.
Over 1,000 people a year still get injured by fireworks. More than 2/3 of them are children. Do you know where your child is in the weeks up to November the 5th?
I've told you 3 times today, no.
Disney on Parade was advertised in that newspaper. Just saw that.
Wow.
Breaking product placement rules there, obviously.
Yeah. I suppose it's partially allowed because it's government. The government are allowed to. They're allowed to advertise Disney, and they're allowed to explode husbands.
Is that the full company name?
Yes. Central Office of Exploding Husbands and whatever the other thing was.
Bastards a name. Right bleeding.
Ah, I see the old trick. Oh,
God.
Oh, cancelled. Just put a giant caption over this one down, just saying cancelled.
Yeah.
Tell the police.
Why couldn't he have been in that box? Shrunk him down and have somebody else shake him. Pour his insides out.
His suit is a sexual offence.
I actually would quite like this one if almost anyone else conceivable had presented it.
Yeah.
I like the loose object metaphor. And I like the egg.
I hate it when he hits that box. There's just something about the action, knowing everything he did. It's just
It's no. It's a good message, and it's put across very, very effectively. But
I got
unfortunately,
him.
it's fronted by Satan.
Here's how to remember the green cross.
Oh,
was it Splink? Ah,
yes.
Here's how to remember a completely meaningless word that we just made up. That might, if you're lucky, remind you of the Green Cross code, but we can't really guarantee that.
It failed in its message because I retained the word splink and have no idea what it actually is an anagram.
Same here.
There's a tiny Tolkati there.
Also, I love the very slight eyebrow raise Pertwee gives when he goes, splink!
Oh yeah, he did that. He did that a lot.
I was just reading like a Marvel comic one day and just saw that it was one of the sound effects and just thought, I know, let's just do that.
It's more of a Don Martin sound effect, really.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. We better take him into the backyard and get the shotgun.
I say, do you even lift, bro?
He didn't listen to the animated Clockwork Man.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that.
And now he has to die.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird how he's walking into that camera there.
Got vanished into forever.
Yeah.
Is this pre or post My Cuckoo?
Hey, you must be out of your tiny mind.
All of a sudden they're in the green dimension.
You did a documentary in university, Ben, didn't you, called Out of Your Tiny Minds?
No, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure you did.
No, it's been deleted forever.
It was a very good documentary. It was like 30 minutes long, I seem to recall.
Well, I think rather like Delia Smith eating monkey brains, I think you dreamt that one.
Oh, it's doddy.
Oh, I love this one because of like the weird tragic freeze frame at the end. He just sort of just loses all enthusiasm completely and just drains from his face, and then they freeze frame it.
Yeah, they chose the perfect moment where he'd thought cut about 3 seconds earlier.
Yeah.
It's very British, that, the sudden swell of pathos.
Yes.
His old lady is also surprisingly entertaining. I saw him live once, and he did a 4-hour set. And he started at 9 and finished at 1 in the morning, and they dropped the curtain on him, and he just stepped forward. The curtain fell behind him, and he just kept going on the very front of the stage. It was.
You can't stop the Dodd.
He had this thing about just doing like hours and hours and hours. Oh, hang on. This is the... Then they freeze frame it.
And cut. And cut.
They had so many options to freeze frame with all the faces he was doing, and they chose that.
Again, very British, very British.
They should have held the freeze frame long.
It's a very silly PIF, but we have to reinforce that it was a very serious issue.
Now let's see you do it properly.
Truck comes now.
Grand Theft Auto.
Be smart. Be safe.
Tell the police. Whenever you cross the road.
Don't use high poles in high voltage areas. Oh,
Whoa.
goosey! Oh!
The way that's shot, it looks absolutely deliberate. He definitely knows that there's a bike coming, and he's deliberately pulled out so he can hit it.
Yeah.
What you don't see is the grin on the driver's face, the manic grin.
Yeah.
We can see his problem. Visibility isn't good, but if only he'd checked again, he would have seen the motorcyclist.
So is this meant to evoke match of the day?
We'll be more careful.
I don't know, but it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable about Jimmy Hill's evil goatee.
Think once, think twice.
I only tend to see pictures of him without it, so...
Yeah. Either grow a beard or don't stop halfway. Especially with a chin like that.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Jasper Carrot talking about that. He says you could get pickles out of a jar with a chin like that.
5 minutes left, and time seems to be so important.
These work a lot better if you imagine all the deaths are deliberate. It's just some sinister force murdering people across the map.
Just to save a few minutes.
Like a better version of that what was it? The one about had thingy from, oh god. I can't remember. God, my mind's have gone blank.
It's okay, that happens on this show.
It's the premise, in fact.
That one where everybody's suddenly committing suicide, and like it's thingy from who was in Speed. You know her. It was Netflix. I was thinking.
Was Delia Smith in this film?
Is this another Green?
Alright, cool, blimey.
A Netflix 18-part adaptation of The Blunders.
They could get Sanrio to animate it, like a Gretzico.
Brilliant.
It always bugs me that he puts the stress on the word wear. You should always wear your seatbelt, as opposed to eating it.
Where is your seatbelt tonight?
It's well, if you'd have watched the Blunders Expanded Universe about the narrator, you would see he'd had a very hard day that day. I personally am a big fan of Christmas with the Blunders.
The Blunders go abroad.
I don't know how she does it. I mean, how can anyone spend that amount of money? What does she do with it? Must be sending food parcels to her mother. Petrol. Let's get some petrol.
Petrol, yes, petrol. Lovely petrol. Can't beat petrol. Buy petrol. All petrol.
Whenever I drive, I take the opportunity to rant inanely and mumble incoherently.
He's wearing a trench coat, so obviously he pervs at random women.
Yeah.
That's the law.
The litter brigade turn up at the end of this and give him a piece of litter, and he turns into a guy from the "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" music video. Oof.
Even on the shortest trips, beware of
You could see her aim her head at the sugar glass.
She wanted to die.
Well, unfortunately, it was just sugar glass, so you know.
Yes.
They had to cut the line, now is the time, that she delivered just before her head went through the year.
How did the blunders even get through life?
How did they live to be 71?
Yes.
This is the hell of the blunders, Chriddof. Every credit end they reset, fully aware of the deaths they have entailed.
Just picturing them being like, as kids being asked a question in school. Oh, I don't know, I see the questions, I don't know. Look at that, the desk on the right. Oh, it's on the window there.
We'll read a fusion store.
Even on the shortest trips, beware of the blunders. Clunk, click.
Wear your seatbelt.
They are a living curse.
If you see these people on the road, shoot them immediately.
And if they've got burgers on them, call the police.
Just turns into Grand Theft Auto again.
Yeah. I think we should steal this car. Now, sir, do you think that's wise?
What an
I
inane
like how
question.
unfazed they are to suddenly find themselves 30 years into their future.
Yeah, that's a point, actually.
Dealing with it rather well.
Who is this Gary Newman?
When the red man's on, pedestrians wait, cause drivers may go is what the green light states. Just press the button.
Milky bars are on me. All of these just make me want to eat really thick chocolate bars, like a Yorkie or something.
Was barn dancing fashionable in 1976?
I'm gonna
You don't
side on the caution of no.
You don't remember
but...
the line dancing craze of 7/6?
No, it was all about car 6-7 at that point.
It was very annoying and stupid.
And they've been forced forward into time again.
The last 2 minutes is just them slowly breaking down with terror. No humour, no lightheartedness.
They go, hang on a minute, these cars look strange. Televisions in every house.
They see Gary Newman on the cover of Smash Hits.
This is looking very noir-y.
Someone watching this program is going to be burgled tonight.
I should know. I'm the one doing it.
ASMR chills while you're being burgled.
When? There's no way of knowing until it happens.
Needs more.
And that person.
Needs more MIDI.
And that person is me. I'm outside your house right now.
Hang on a moment. Someone appears to be burgling my house. I'll be right back.
Oh God, Safeway in the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
An old desaturated supermarket.
77p, scandalous.
I always want to wish the camera would just focus more on like the stuff in the shop rather than going around.
I'm looking at all the products. I'm looking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's about this mustachio brew.
None cleaner, none fresher.
I would have kept the onions. Come in handy.
I
mean, they're still free.
I think one of the proof of evidence that we live in one of the worst timelines is that we never had a shoplifting PIF directed by Bennis of Millbrook's Major Bennis.
Is that the Captain Tulita man?
Yeah.
Yes, that's Tulita. These days, money is tight, but there is no need for people to go into shops and steal things.
Apparently, I heard a tale that apparently he, on when it was busy on Saturdays, he would like stand outside in the car park of one of his stores and like guide the traffic and then demand where cars parked. Like he'd go, "You there, down there."
You, sir, I believe I pointed to this space. You have disobeyed me.
Yeah.
The punishment is death.
That's fantastic.
not believe this, Sarge. Someone's just nipped me bike.
I'm just trying to imagine now with these that all of the wrongs are being committed by the.
Oh, God, him again.
Oh, talk about wrongs.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Spoke too soon.
Deep breath, everybody.
And it's going to happen to a lot of you ladies. You'll be shopping.
Don't ever say ladies.
No.
Don't ever say that word.
My spine has just left in my body.
And that's a really nice image to have with this, you know.
Yeah.
I'd rather look at
Follow
that
it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut.
Oh, yeah, we needed a freeze frame on that, didn't we?
Freeze frame on his big evil face.
Oh, this car crash is amazing.
Or use cross-ply on the rear when you've radials on the front. You might not live to regret it.
Sparks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
Radial tires. Check how you mix them.
I don't even know the difference.
Yeah, they don't really have a difference anymore.
It's a very specialised PIF, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know why that just.
Watch out for apples.
Fuck peaches.
Peaches. Whatever.
It's a good way of showing gore without actually showing gore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because flat.
I like the fact they sort of use, instead of the hammer sound effect, they actually have the contact of the car and the
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Smack instead.
Traffic. Today's driving problems.
Yesterday's
Prices.
Tomorrow's, today, yesterday's, every day, yesterday once more.
Next year, last century, aeons and aeons, speeding up into space. Where will we go? I don't know where I'm going. I need another drink. Anyone for a tipple at the Coach on Horses?
Oxygen thin, words, mashing, brain falling apart, wet cake.
Wear something light.
First there was man.
Les Grey of Mud.
Then there was mud.
And the rest of Mud as well, but, you know, bollocks to them.
They're not important.
First there was man, then there was mud.
You better learn to stop at the curb. And I mean stop, right? It's part of the Green Cross.
Well, that just reddens my socks.
It's a lifesaver, believe me. Okay, nothing coming. Now go.
It turns out to
Get in
become
the
a
road.
pip about not wearing platform shoes over power lines.
He pushed them into the road practically. He's as much fault as they are.
He's like that seagull.
Watch out for seagulls and Les Grey. Brackets of mud.
Sam knows people get careless when ice cream fans are about.
I don't think he was thinking about ice cream.
Stop.
I would have preferred it if he had the voice of Alan Bennett.
Don't dash across the road. Use a...
What a boring little kid drawing that instead of, playing with metal poles.
Making a bespoke PIF poster or something.
Well, let's be honest, Ben, a dinosaur would be a fanciful idea whilst the tragedies of the road are ongoing.
That ice cream could have been you.
I hate that child.
Could have been you, you know, son.
That's his real voice. There's no dubbing in that one.
From time to time through history.
Les Grey of Mud.
Returns home after a
long day of murdering children.
Facts to help fight sickness and disease. And that is why, on April the 25th, we are asking you to fill in the 1971 census.
Ah, brilliant. I can't wait for that to turn up.
Such a dramatic lead up for, the census. I suppose it's better than that one from the 90s with the baby.
Oh, yeah.
Got another one coming up.
That was featured on Tomorrow's World, wasn't it? When they explained how they used the CG effects to animate the baby's mouth.
Yeah.
Here's how we created terror.
Yes. We used a new program called Kai's Power Goo.
And for some reason, the 1991 census is famously undersubscribed. Probably because everyone was too bloody scared of it.
You see, we started off using normal effects, and it actually worked pretty well, but then we applied the Uncanny Valley filter, and it all went to hell from there.
Were all celebrities in the 70s just stopping children from dying?
Yeah.
Very paradoxical.
Well, I mean, Kevin Keegan had to do this over and over again because he kept bottling it and running away halfway through.
Wear a helmet.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Moving on.
Is that
It's because they know. It's because they know people will skip to the video. You see, so they have to make it short.
I love the way that most of that PIF was just them driving away.
Yes. If we pie chart this up.
Maybe they just had some stock footage. Just thought we've got to do something with it. I command you to stop.
In the name of the crown.
In the name of Christ.
That's the balloon from the third series of the League of Gentlemen.
These are very
I don't
fun
know why
toys.
he still has it.
The policeman just turns to the kid with the balloon, pops it, and then a caption comes up, "Don't dream."
Dreaming is verboten.
And punishable by a £10 fine.
If you have a thought, think of a blank blackboard.
The new decimal money will be with us on D-Day, Decimal Day, the 15th of February, 1971.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Get ready for them to roll this back post-Brexit.
Oh god.
Depressing.
I give it 6 months. We can laugh now because we're okay.
We're in the future now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Everything's great.
Yeah, I'm old enough that there were still coins around that had new pence written on them when I was a kid. I used to wonder what that meant.
The new penny.
No sale.
And the new half penny.
The new penny, the old penny, the half crown, the rosemary.
Stays the same. Only the coins which make up the pound are changing.
And they have the face of Iggy Pop.
They can only be used once.
Yes.
They come with grooves, so if you put them on a turntable, it actually plays a small extract of Lust for Life.
It's quite straightforward. If you're entitled to vote, you should get an official
If you're allowed to vote. If you're a man over 45.
If you're not entitled to vote, then please contact your nearest police station.
This is for the first election after they decreased the age to 18. So I think that's why they've made this basic explaining what democracy is thing. Because there's a lot more voters now, and furthermore they're young and therefore very stupid.
In society, you obey your leaders and nothing else.
Guys, do you remember when we had democracy? That was fun.
Not really, no.
I don't remember it.
who you voted for. You don't have to tell them. Your vote is your business.
Do you think if you sent this to North Korea, they'd get confused and kill themselves?
Well, I know they used to airdrop episodes of CSI to them, so that's an actual thing. There was a fundraiser where they would like legitimately airdrop USB sticks full of like Western media.
Why CSI?
Because it was an example of Law and Order, how it should be done.
Why not Dexter's Laboratory?
Why didn't they
just use a random example?
Why didn't they just airdrop episodes of Law and Order?
Yes.
I don't know. They wouldn't let them. Who are they? I don't know. No, they just got 18 episodes of Jeremy Beadle's You've Been Framed.
Did it include the late at night one he did?
Oh, yeah.
Where he appeared as... He opened the show dressed as Roy Chubby Brown, and then made absolutely no further reference to Roy Chubby Brown.
Which is the best thing to do with Roy Chubby Brown.
Well, yeah, but it was just an odd thing, a very odd thing to start off with.
I'm currently buying up all of the VHS tapes of Roy Chubby Brown's stand-up, as I'm hoping to have a pyre in the new year. I'm going to try and review UFO at some point, and I want to end the episode with just this mass burning.
Burning it in a giant wicker phallus.
Yes.
I've seen the second half of UFO. It was one of the most dismal things I've ever witnessed.
I'm feeling good about it now. I haven't yet managed to watch it, but that's reassured me.
Sorry. It is a really rough thing.
Hey, that's my bread and butter. That's the sort of stuff that makes my day go by.
It just keeps getting closer and closer on that man's face until you just like see like the atoms and fibre and molecules on his skin.
The 4K scan of that is banned in most countries.
That was DCI Barlow, that was.
Yeah.
And don't you forget it, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to not know people I'm eating spaghetti.
You didn't announce it, Ben. I'm very disappointed in you.
Didn't announce what?
That you were eating spaghetti. Go to your shame corner.
I do text you every time I have tea, so I guess that.
You do, and you didn't today, which is very upsetting.
You don't give me enough time off, that's why I've got to eat during this.
Ben, we've spoken about this off commentary. You get as many holidays as I do.
Don't get enough annual leave off you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be the one.
And at the end of it, the important thing is still your licence. These are the days when drinking and driving PIFs were all about the consequences to you. You'll lose your licence, you'll lose your car. You might also kill someone, but
whatever.
Yeah, chances are they deserve to die.
I do like how the narrative shifted on that from, if you are going to drink and drive, don't drink a lot, to you will kill somebody if you touch a pint.
Yeah.
There's one of these ones which sort of the message seems to be if you're a woman and if you drink a lot you'll end up vomiting and nobody likes a vomiting lady.
Yes, we covered that one in the second volume
a
while ago. It always sticks in my mind. Yeah. My favourite one is the Christopher Eccleston one.
The one where he's in the back of the car?
Yeah, and he's sort of chatting away like,
That's a strange
one. Lads, we like going out.
Mocking some corpses.
Yeah.
That's a strange one.
So before any of us say, it can't happen to me, snap into that seatbelt habit. You know it makes sense.
I like to think David Jason should have delivered that end line there.
If you imagine this is your car, then this...
You know it makes sense, Rodders.
Now when you drive up to a main...
I'm sorry, I'm confused.
It's easy to see other cars, but because a motorcycle is a third of the width...
Again, this is making me think of the young ones.
Yes.
Yeah. This overripe tomato is a young girl.
And he gets out a baseball bat and just smashes everything up.
What is it? Think once, think twice, don't drive your car on the pavement.
Something like that.
That's it, yeah.
If you want to avoid this, think once, think twice, think bike.
Ow!
Diamonds are for danger.
Diamonds are for danger.
Are forever.
This is the funkiest of PIFs.
I don't know.
It's definitely one to look up if you get a chance. It's like a 10-minute PIF about building site safety, but it's got this constant low funk soundtrack that's just like ding 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 ding, and the narrator cannot be arsed to be there. And every 2 minutes he just goes, "And you'll be ready to shake hands with danger."
This is a very exciting soundtrack.
Thrilling.
An explosion that could kill you, or will kill you. It's an explosion, that's what they do.
It makes it seem like
Progress Island.
Something exciting to do, you want to get up and then just leap into this
and just cause gas fires.
Yes, just throw fires about and stuff. Light matches and just fling it into all this toxic liquid.
After a hard day spent playing with metal poles, what's the next thing you want to do?
When I grow up, I want to be an arsonist.
Dry yourself properly. You'll ruin your eyes. And every Saturday morning when me and Mum go shopping...
Is he going to die?
I think he might die.
Me?
I'm not a betting man, but I'll put money on it.
Place your
Fairly
bets now.
rambunctious kid, streets.
Yeah.
She doesn't bother with the crossing.
When I get home, I'm going to marry my girl and buy a stretch of land.
Eating nondescript food there.
Yeah.
It's just purple stuff.
It's just a jar that says food on it.
It actually reminds me of school dinners I had in the early 80s. I think there was like a type of tart they had.
It was just that was just things we ate in those days. Things that didn't look like anything, came in tins that didn't look like anything either. It was just what we ate in the 70s.
Bit of a rambling one, this one, isn't it?
Yeah. This isn't one of your wear a helmet piff.
Wear a helmet. That's all we have to say.
Cross the road.
Don't cross the road.
Cross the road over there.
Tell the police.
Eat fresh.
Les Grey of Mud. Just a picture of him smiling.
Is this the film Boyhood?
It's harsh cutting between the two.
We're just going through this entire child's life, from birth to death.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, gents, this one actually runs for 25 years, so...
Now here I am sitting thinking, when is this child going to die?
It comes with,
Bring it!
Comes with a BBFC certificate at the start.
Yeah. The twist is he doesn't die, he just grows up deathly afraid of vehicles.
Yeah, well, that's more realistic in a way.
A quick answer. But today's drivers need to keep a cooler head. Do you leave enough space?
It's time we went back to the old ways. Don't drive. Use a chariot.
If you don't,
use horses. They're basically your slaves.
Have a car crash.
remember, keep your distance.
I'll be back.
As if I haven't got enough to do. All these blooming doors to cope with. Like getting through
I always recognise her, and I can never remember her name.
Patsy Rowlands.
Yeah.
Got one here, haven't I? There you go. Oh, Terry, you are a good
Here you go,
boy.
darling.
That's better. Remember you in my will. Shut up.
She won't remember him in her will.
No.
He's nothing to her.
She pushes the trolley through the double doors, but it turns out it's down a flight of stairs. Straight over.
A very, very sudden fade to black when that happens.
Yeah.
Is that triangle again?
Fire doors prevent fire spreading, and they're a barrier against suffocating fumes and smoke, giving you enough time to escape to safety. Never wedge open a fire door, never lock them shut. Fire doors can save lives. Yours, maybe.
Well, maybe I've been burnt at crisp, but at least I've got an ice brew. Wear a helmet.
Cars.
Me, I live free and single.
What are his chances of him getting back to his wife and kids? Well, he's in this film, so I wouldn't put my rates very highly.
Now I'm imagining just piffs that are just celebrities or well-known people just appearing like on just a single photograph, as in Les Grey of Mud, just like Shaw Taylor, and just a still from him from Police 5 or something, just popping up in the middle of in the middle of movies as well. You just get Dave Prowse and he has the Green Cross Road in the middle of a really important scene.
It was very sinister the way he said that. I'm going to be around for a while. I'll be everywhere.
Well, he is
in your home.
He lived to be nearly 100, didn't he?
So let's get into that seatbelt habit. And let's make it automatic as closing the car door. After all, you wouldn't drive off without hearing this, would you? The clank of the car door closing. Right, let's have
what if you're
another
deaf?
sound.
Good point. I don't think you'd be driving.
The click of a seatbelt being
They do let deaf people drive. You don't drive with your ears.
Not in Dan's world.
No, it's punishable by death.
Not in your
£10 fine.
authoritarian right-wing world.
Then when I seize control of the council, we will be doing things by my rules.
See you, clunk clicker.
What next? Women drivers?
God. Ben, you just got cancelled again.
No, you got cancelled. You said not blind people, deaf people couldn't drive.
Look, we've both been cancelled. Let's just keep our heads down for the rest of it. Look, there's a nice one of a woman making a nice bit of tea.
Oh, shit pan. Okay.
I'm sure nothing wrong will happen here. Oh, right, okay.
Another straightforward one.
Oh god, oh yeah.
I always liked the one where they lower the chip basket into the pan and the oil just sort of flows over and the whole house erupts.
Yeah. Just explaining why you don't chuck water on it.
I think this was Patrick Troughton doing the voiceover here.
It was their way of telling the working classes not to eat chips.
And to think you'd only just come from the hospital.
At least Patrick Troughton had fun with it.
Yeah.
This man was safe. Until now.
It was never safe like that.
To get the plug changed. From now on, he's in deadly danger.
The worst kind of danger there is.
Now he's in somewhat danger, but not quite. Well, that's the problem.
He's in perfectly safe danger.
Well, that's the problem. He's using cigarettes for plugs.
Fix things properly, you twats.
How dare you?
Oh, Shaw Taylor's back.
Ace.
But you have not clicked. You haven't put your seatbelt on.
Tell the police.
What you've done is you've clicked, but you haven't clunked. You need to clunk, then click, then splink, and then back again.
Mark Hamill.
So remember, boys and girls, clunk, clink, splink, drink.
Fancy a jar? Splink. Smash them up.
I'm sorry, I'm from a BBC family.
Received pronunciation.
They don't show those public information films on the BBC.
Oh, I see you watch Channel 5. Wow.
Yes, I like the spicy... Yes, I like these spicy girls too.
We recently road tested the current model of pedestrian. Morning cold start.
Who are you?
Heavy. The model needed topping up throughout the day. Road holding. Fair.
This disc doesn't have the Michael Palin one on, does it?
No, I don't think it
No, I
does.
think that's on the second one.
Spare parts are
Yeah.
hard to replace. However, the makers assured us that it is rust-proof and all essential parts should last a lifetime. But where our model really did badly was resistance to damage.
This is just the beginning of some Ray Bradbury-esque sort of dystopia where people are just observed all the time.
In a world where everyone has narrators.
By men with flat caps, mainly.
If a narrator is killed, that person can no longer live a life. They must remain indoors.
It's like pharaohs. The servants have to be buried with them.
Yes.
Cancelled.
Oh my, cancelled. Ah, you beat me to
God.
it. Guy Ritchie saw this.
Let's see that again. A very lovely silent tackle from a real loon.
Let's see that again.
And how about team training? Team training vital because it's speed. Speed all the way. Essential with the three-handed corner.
I wish I knew what a football was.
They like the idea back then of treating people like cattle, basically.
I think most of these piffs could have opened with, you're a bit thick.
That is the premise of the debate of the genre, really.
Do you think on a list of paper that said ideas, the words "Match of the Day" parody must have come up about 25 times?
You are you. You are not Les Grey of Mud.
Someone looks in the mirror.
Great, it's the man who I wouldn't trust to tell me the weather forecast while I'm outside.
Oh, yeah. I love this man.
Yes, he's great.
He is great. And he's the director as well.
Yeah. Richard Massingham, isn't it?
Richard Massingham.
You can't take all those notes with you.
You can take your holiday or business allowance in traveller's checks, but not more than £5 in sterling notes. And that £5 is not for spending abroad, but to meet expenses in this country when you return. Do you know that? You understand English?
Can you imagine if that happened now, going on holiday? You cannot take more than £5 to Ibiza.
Oh, I thought that your sentence was going to stop there. Can you imagine now going on holiday?
Getting on a plane. Just what do you think you're doing?
Prepare for Brexit, January the 1st.
Oh,
They should use
quality's dipped.
magic CGI holograms to get him to do all the post-Brexit adverts.
That'd be nice. It worked with Les Dawson.
Get yourself seen.
Don't make yourself seen. Hide.
I wonder if this was edited on tape and that's why the quality's so low.
Yeah, I think this is sourced from tape, actually. I can see a little wiggly line at the bottom, which seems it's from something like one of those Philips N170 or whatever the hell they're called.
I know that in the past they'd shoot on film. When it got to the 80s and tape became more affordable, they would shoot on film and then edit it down on tape just because it was easier.
Yeah.
This came from Ian Levine's collection.
Okay, fair enough.
Every year, 300 or
Oh,
more
God.
people are either killed.
It's modern. That's why there's a computer screen.
These accidents are almost always
This isn't your dad's fire, Piff.
an unguarded fire, thoughtlessness in the kitchen, carelessness when handling flammable liquids.
The Trumpton Inferno.
Alright, love, I'm just going up shed to have some fags and stand next to the petrol can. See you in a bit.
As quickly as you can so the flames can't spread upwards. Then roll over to smother the flames.
Ow,
There's a rubber
ow,
or
ow.
blanket handy, wrap it
Don't
around
worry, a
the
large man with white gloves will come in and fill you up. It's the future, look.
The darndest thing, he ripped the roof off, he picked me up and he rolled me around in a hedgerow.
Alternatively, this could be his hobby, just going down to the shed, and to muck about with dolls and setting them on fire and then pretending to save their lives.
His partner shouts down to him, "Excuse me, what are you doing down there? Go away, this is my time."
He does little voices for him. Oh no, I'm burning, help me up. I will save you.
It would just be like that bit in Spaceballs. Don't worry, darling, I didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
That's not a crime prevention officer, that's David Calder out of Star Cops. He's a star crime prevention officer.
A real crime prevention officer comes up. What are you doing?
He just runs off.
Runs away.
It freeze frames on him mid-run.
You're Les Gray of Mud. No, I'm not.
No, you are. Goes back to them. Oh God, I am.
It pulls back everyone is Les Gray from Mud.
Spend a few pounds wisely on good locks for the doors and windows. You could avoid all the emotional upset and aggravation of a burglary and save yourself thousands of pounds in the long run. So,
This man has 18 locks on both his doors.
if you're not sure that your home is reasonably
Well, they've not invented brick-proof. Well, I
My
suppose they
big,
have.
my big concern is these houses have got like 18 locks on each door, but then they're also warning us to watch out for house fires. So, it's one or the other, really. You can either have a door that no one will ever be able to open again unless you do it, or you can be fire safe.
Don't be alive. Oh, there he is.
They're dubbing his voice here, aren't they?
I believe so.
He was never allowed to have his own voice.
You're not allowed to have your own voice.
And listening all the way across, that wouldn't have happened.
Well, he didn't sound as imposing as he looked, did he?
Remember, always use the green cross code, because I won't be there when you cross the road.
Because I hate you.
I just like to watch.
Another voice. I'll be there when you cross the road.
What would be even more terrifying? What if he turned around and went, "I'll be back."
He does the echo himself.
Yes. The budget didn't stretch to an echo back.
He had to speak into a rolled up tube of like a toilet roll or something.
The script just says, "I'll be back."
He has to take a breath halfway through.
This is the one with the robot. No, it's not. Is it?
Look, it's Green Crossman.
Looks like you two need a lesson in crossing the road.
That's his real voice.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, there's the robot.
First, find a safe place to cross.
Here.
You're a part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
Away from parked cars, where you can see the road is clear and drivers can see you.
See, it's not exactly full of authority, is he?
No.
But not too close.
What's the matter with this copy? It's print.
If traffic is coming,
It appears to have been recovered through a toaster or something.
It came from the castle where they found Samurai Cop. Some Bolivian warlord had it in his collection.
Because we ate you.
Yes, I have original copies of all of the Godzilla films on 35mm films. Oh yeah, and I also have the Green Cross Code Man PIFs.
I love this one because of the weird, like, really long pause at the end where they're just pretending to be
the living hold.
Yeah, the living hold. Yes.
This is the last one as well.
Yeah.
It was made by the same bloke who did the Ken Dodd one. Didn't know how to end things.
Immediately at the stop bell. If you don't know where it is, find out now. Then, if flooding continues,
Well, watch the rest of the film first.
But remember to turn off
Stay tuned, kids. We're halfway through the fun.
before turning on the hot taps.
Waste water now.
It's only water. It's basically unlimited.
If the water has come in contact with any electrical fittings, turn off at the mains. And then, when you've done all that, call the plumber. Well done, sir. An object lesson in dealing with a burst pipe. What a pity you let it happen in the first place.
You idiot.
We'll stand there trying to look offended.
The little girl looks
And that's it. That's the lot. So I hope we've all lived and laughed.
Learned our damn lesson.
Yeah. I've learnt today not to wear my platform boots in the presence of Les Gray. Mud. Ben, what have you learned today? I think Ben may have actually died.
Ah, okay.
But he'll be back.
He
and
didn't
twice
learn
as
his
strong. Chriddof, Applemask, have you learned anything today?
I've learned that the past was full of fear, but a nicer form of fear than now, I think.
Yeah.
It's a form of more pleasant fear.
It's weird that I look at old creepy footage and there's sort of a pleasingness to it, even though it is disturbing, and whereas now it's just straightforward horrible, you know.
We've gone full dystopia, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I have to say my connection went for the last 2 minutes, so could you just add in the sounds of me going, whatever you were saying, just add in the sounds of me going, Right.
We were doing the end of show, what have we learned today? So Ben, now that you're back, what did you learn today?
I learned that everyone in the 70s is a member of the prog rock band, not even prog, the band Mud.
I said very similar. And Applemask, what have you learned today?
I don't think I've learned anything substantive.
That's, just end on that. Just cut straight there. I've not learned anything. Bye.
That I didn't already. Everything kills and everything is wrong, and you should never do anything.
And no good comes of crossing the road ever.
Definitely don't cross the road.
Yeah.
Remain
Stay
indoors.
on your side of the road.
In fact, the repeated shots over countless films of kids trying to cross the road between parked cars sort of became a bit numbing in the end.
It was always the same setup as well. It was never, the shot types never really varied. It was always, wide shot of the road with the kids on one side, and then close up of the celebrity saying, "Don't do that, you bloody idiot." That was his literal words. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we've all more or less taken something away from today's comedy dining experience, and I just want to say thank you again to Chriddof and Applemask for joining us on this magnificent odyssey of British public information films.
No problem.
That's quite all right.
If you would like to check out any of their stuff, there are tons of links in the description, and I highly recommend you do. These are two great guys who do some really, really fantastic stuff, and I know that they're going to have some great stuff coming up as well. So, yeah, thank you so much for being on this show. And Ben, do you have anything you'd like to say to finish the show off?
You can plug my stuff too. I can be found in a doorway in Radcliffe, playing guitar and screaming into an empty whiskey bottle. That's where I can be found.
I remember it well. That was the first time we met.
How will we tell you apart from all the other people in doorways in Radcliffe screaming into whiskey bottles? How will we know which one's you?
Just shout out a reference to Mud or to the Young Ones or Doctor Who, and I'll go, and then ignore you.
Right.
And cry.
Brilliant. Right, well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Take care.